Run a series of events between the 2nd and the 9th of October to make people aware of the reality of trafficking in persons in South Africa. This awareness campaign will be held across the country as part of the 2015 National Human Trafficking Awareness Week. This morning, Richard Arts, IOM South Africa Chief of Mission, joins us to tell us more about the awareness campaign. Good to have you, Richard. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you for making time for this important topic.
Now, I know that in 2014, the IOM launched the first awareness campaign to inform people about human trafficking. How effective has this campaign been?
It's very difficult to measure. I think we are reaching a lot of people, but by the very nature of trafficking, it is a very hidden phenomena. It is by and large something that's that moves in the shadows, that evades detection. So one of the objectives of this campaign is to raise more awareness and to raise more public exposure for the phenomenon of human trafficking. When we do go out to the villages, when we do go out to the locations where we know trafficking is more likely to happen, we do find that there's more people are aware of the phenomenon of trafficking. People have heard about it, but we're absolutely convinced that it's something that is still quite prevalent.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, trafficking globally is one of the fastest growing criminal activities. So it is something that we have to continue to fight against, because it's a very serious crime, and it's something that is enormously profitable for the criminal enterprises.
Yeah.
Like the estimated annual turnover associated with trafficking is about $32 billion US,
wow.
Which is, I mean, just to put it in perspective, that is twice the GDP of Mozambique.
That's just, it's
huge. It's a lot of money to be earned there.
Yeah, it really is insane. I just want to get a bit of clarity. We talk about the trafficking in persons and human trafficking. Is there a difference between the two, or is it the same concept?
No, the difference is spelling.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Trafficking in persons and human trafficking is the same thing. It's two ways to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I know that human trafficking is something that's being tackled at the highest level here of government in South Africa when it comes to new legislation that's been brought in for tourists and for travellers, because we're trying to combat the levels of trafficking that take place here in South Africa. Let's put it in perspective. What does our country look like? I mean, how prevalent is human trafficking in South Africa?
Well, like I said, it's difficult to get the numbers for South Africa, and this is one of the things that we're trying to achieve, that the government is trying to achieve. First of all, I must say, I think it's fantastic that South Africa has designated an entire week for trafficking awareness. In a lot of countries, there's at most a day for trafficking awareness raising, and the mere fact that South Africa has dedicated a full week with activities, I think is fantastic. So we're working together closely with the Department of Justice, with the Department of Home Affairs, with the Department of Social Development, with the police to raise awareness. Yeah. But also we're actively engaged with those departments in the implementation of the law. So in 2013, President Zuma signed into law the law on combating and preventing human trafficking. And we're now at the stage that we can start with the implementation of that, because of all kinds of regulations and bylaws needed to be developed.
Yeah.
And it's only in August that was finally done. So now we're very much looking forward to working together with all those departments in the implementation. Okay. And then hopefully, through the implementation of this law, we also get a better grip of how big the problem is in South Africa.
Yeah.
And we know it is a problem. But to really put some numbers to the issue,
yeah.
I mean, we are dealing on a daily basis with trafficking cases. We are seeing and we are assisting victims of trafficking on a very regular basis. But we know that it's only a fraction of the actual number of trafficking cases that are happening in South Africa.
I know, and we also are always spoken about as an unfortunate transit country for traffickers, which is a reputation we really need to get rid of and stop it very quickly. Richard, we are finishing the interview now, but if you can, in just a couple of seconds, tell us about the TRAPPED program that was designed by students at the University of Johannesburg. What is it? How does it work? Please, very quickly.
It's also an awareness campaign. That's something that we did together with the University of Johannesburg. Like you said, last year we did a competition with the students of the university, and a number of groups came up with proposals for a campaign. we thought this one was absolutely brilliant. So we submitted it to the Department of Justice, and they partnered with us in implementation. And it's basically to make people aware that the TRAP campaign is basically it shows a box with a puppet bound, tied up inside, which demonstrates it's a hidden nature of trafficking. It is the forced element of it, the fact that the puppet is tied up, and it's a transport element. So the box moves from point A to point B, and the movement is often a very important element of the of the trafficking process.
Fantastic. It
so
sounds like a great initiative.
We started implementation last year, and we're so happy with it that we continue doing it this year. Good. Additionally, we have a campaign that we have been running. And I encourage people to go to our website, southafrica.iom.int, where you also can get more information on the trafficking campaign that we're running.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much for it. That traffic campaign is going to be it's a series of events between the 2nd and the 9th of October. Visit the website. You'll find out all of the information there. That was Richard Ott. He's the Chief of Mission for the International Organization for Migration of Persons. So it really is a big issue we need to talk about. That's it. We have to say goodbye to you.